streams that filter through this land of ours and fill a sportsman's dreams. Enjoy what nature holds for us, her bounty never ends. Getting back to basics with the practical sportsman. It's always an adventure, no matter where we go. From a favorite hunting spot to the hottest fishing hole. Outdoor life we all can share with family and friends. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman.
So, who's had enough of El Nino? I mean, we don't hear about it as much as we used to, but we're still suffering the effects. It's warm. People wonder, where did the smelt go? What's going on with the fishing? Well, it's these warm temperatures. But we've had years that are different than that. We didn't have a name for them then. Remember 1996? Holy cow, the leaves weren't even out on the trees, but we went fishing, we caught fish, just changed our techniques. You stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost. We're going to take you fishing in 1996 when we were suffering the effects of El Frizo. Yeah, we'll do it. Ah, spring on a northern Michigan lake. Looks like April, doesn't it? Leaves aren't out on the trees. The weather isn't warm by any means. But it's Monday, May 13th. The spring of 1996 has been way behind schedule. Okay, now, we have to launch this little aluminum boat, Matt. Why don't you just shove us off and jump in the boat? Here's where we find out if we're going to have to get a health rider. There we go, Matt. On board. Oh,
that's
okay.
it.
Well, that's it. That's as far as we got. The first launch of the year, a semi-success. Okay. We get around the lake the old-fashioned way, one oar at a time. This is cool though, isn't it, man? I like the looks of this. Okay, so you're wondering why I'm rowing this boat backwards. Get your own boat. Row however you want. That's the beauty of the outdoors, I'll tell you. Self-sufficiency. Okay, I'll turn her around here. We got some lily pads here. These are old lily pads from last year. Now, my experience is that there's fish around these lily pads, around the drop-offs. Of course, this being the middle of May, it's not red-hot fishing by any stretch. We've had some cold weather in here just this past weekend. We'll go up here, Matt, and we'll try a few things.
Sounds good.
Now, we'll drift. The wind is going to blow us back here, but the best crack at an area of fishing is when you first come into it, before you spook the fish out of the way. So we want to cast up in front of the boat. I think I'll use the spinnerbait here. Oftentimes, the early casts produce the best. Right up along. Oh man, you should have seen that. That was good. That was real good. Oh, there we go. There we go. What did I tell you, Johnny?
You're on the money.
I'm on the money. Oh, cool. I feel like pretty hot stuff right now, making a call like that. It's either a pike or a bass, and there's nothing. You let go.
Now how hot do you feel?
Well, I don't feel quite as hot as I'm not going to have to wear my shades. Okay, but I'm going to go back for him. Oh, that was another good cast. Hey, frankly, that fish wasn't all that big. I mean, it was a fish. It just wasn't that big. I make the call pike. No one's got a bass. That's a bass, isn't it? That's the thing. You don't know what you're going to catch at this time of year. Ooh, not a bad one. Ooh. Yeah. Look at that. Awesome. Let's see. You want to try to get... There we go.
Yes.
Okay, well, since Jimmy Houston isn't here, this fish is not going to get kissed. Looks like it maybe got nicked there at some time in the past. Largemouth bass. At this time of year, she's all catch and release. Well, two weeks, season opens. There it goes. Huh. But there's pike in here. Big crappie. Big crappie. Huge crappie. As a matter of fact. We'd like to catch. Now, bass season doesn't open on inland lakes in Michigan until Memorial Day, but the season for most other species is open right now, and we'll sneak up on them. A lot of people ask me, what's the secret to your rowing success, Fred? And well, you got to work out, got to keep your muscle tone up, eat right, get plenty of sleep, and you have to have good equipment too. Oar locks are a very important part of rowing. Right here, you notice this oar lock. Well, it isn't in the best of repair, but Matt has used a fishing stringer to keep that one in place, more or less. And over here, this is actually apparently a part of a June bug spinner that keeps this oar lock from coming loose. But those are the keys to success. Have good equipment, keep it in good repair, keep your body in good shape. Hey, if you want to buy a rowing machine, don't. Let me take you fishing. You can row for me. Ooh. He's running. Ooh. I would say this sounds like a pike. Sounds like a pike. Now this was right in the weeds. Ooh. Ooh. I'm sorry, all I can say is ooh.
That's okay. Describes it pretty well right now.
Whatever this is.
Bass?
Is that a bass?
Yeah. That's a good size.
That is a good size one. Holy cow. Now the wind's blowing. There we go. This is a dandy. And that was right in the weeds, John. Oh, look at that. Early season stuff. That one really hit this hook. They got tough mouths.
Yeah, you can see it's all the way through the other. There you go.
Jeez, that's a good heavy one. Look at that belly on it. See, it hadn't spawned yet.
Awesome.
Can't tell if it's a female. Fish had hair, we could tell. Well, actually, you can't tell by the length of the hair anymore. You can't tell by how they dress either. I think nowadays you can only tell by what kind of tattoos they have. These are called leaf worms. They're little, teeny, like garden worms. But the idea in the spring like this is to use worms that are small. Ice fishing bait is real tiny. Wax worms, mousies. In fact, they'd work now too. I'm putting these on a hook that's about a size 14 hook. I'm kind of wadding it up. Some people just let it dangle. Maybe that's what I should do, not have it wadded up quite so much. Anyway, there it is on a size 14 hook, and I'm using the old European style float here that Craig Scoff taught me. What I have here, John, is a little 14 hook, 12 or 14 with a leaf worm, and then a small split shot right there. Up about 6 inches, a larger split shot. Up above that, another 8 or 10 inches, a larger split shot. And the idea is the bobber that I'm using is a European style float, and I really only want the top of this out of the water, so I'm trying to weight it so it's neutral density, neutral buoyancy. And these little things here, can you see that little blue deal on there?
Yep.
Well, that's just a little rubber tube that you have to hook onto the line before you put the hook on. And then these tubes go around each end of the bobber right there. There's that other tube right there. But that's what holds the bobber on. And then you can slip it up and down. So I'm going to slip it up. I guess I'll put it down here so we can see how it floats in the water. The idea of having these 3 split shot on here, you can see this when I put it down in the water, how, see, the first one takes it down a little bit, and it sort of naturally falls down there. But look at that float there, Johnny. Doesn't that look good? Slightest little twitch there, I'll be able to see it even from a distance. Now, how far down to put it? You know, at this time of year, you don't have to put it on the bottom. The fish can be suspended. They can be cruising around at different levels. And what they're feeding on at this time of year is a lot of aquatic insects. Of course, there aren't earthworms in the water, but they go for earthworms for some darn reason. It's very traditional. But I guess maybe 6 feet down. Figure the fish might come up for that. So this is a ultralight reel on a medium action rod. You know, why have balanced tackle? I mean, this is more realistic, like a lot of guys fish. But there it is. As soon as that, see, oh, isn't that cool? I love fishing with floats. See, the real European style purists call these floats, not bobbers. Bobbers are the Dayton, you know, the red and white ones. Little balls sit out there. But this is a float. And if a fish so much as sucks that baby in, I'll see it. That wind is really humming. See, the wind is blowing the boat, but it's not blowing the bobber. The float, excuse me. Well, the European anglers have all kinds of specialized floats. And this is the first time I tried this style, but hey, it worked really well. I got a fish on this bobber deal.
Float.
Float. Excuse me. All the heck. Ooh. Isn't that something? I cast it, ooh, towards the shallows. I gotta stop saying ooh. I hate that. I hate that when people on TV shows, nice fish, nice fish. So excuse me, folks. It's coming up, it's coming up.
Is it a good size one?
You know what was funny about that? The float went down, and I thought I had a little bluegill or something. I just started tightening up the line, and now it's much more than a bluegill. And that's on this little teeny 12 or 14 hook. Oh, this is awesome.
Is that coming up yet?
No, well, the line is fairly flat.
Is it taking the line at all?
Yes. Well, what I've been doing here is, see if I put this on.
Oh, you're back reeling.
It makes that obnoxious noise, and then I have to loosen the drag, and I don't know how tight the drag is. I can fiddle around here and loose this.
Let's actually see what this one is.
Yeah, we'd like to. Could be a crappie. Ooh.
That's typically
This
soft mouth.
is an old reel. Old reel. I haven't used this in 10 years.
Right there.
Okay, so it's coming up. Yeah, I'd almost rather I flip this little lever here, and then I back reel when it takes line.
Mark Martin was always big on that.
Yeah.
Was it a pike?
Oh, bluegill.
A bluegill?
Big bluegill. Crappie.
Crappie. It
Bluegill.
is a crappie. No, it
Big
is a
crappie.
crappie. It's a big crappie. That's exactly what we were after. Oh, yes. Oh, man.
Don't lose
Oh, I'm
it.
loving this to death. Oh, I'm loving this. Look, it's hooked in the lip, too. Now, we don't have a net, do we? Of course not. Why would we have a net? Why in the world?
Don't you dare lose that.
Oh, it's gone. I lost it. Oh, did you see that? I have it right by the chinny chin here. Whoa, man. Oh, that was a save. That was a save. Ozzy. Yes. Holy cow. Isn't that something else?
That is.
Huh? Now, you people think I'm going to throw this back? Yeah. Take a chill pill. Do something. Oh, this is great. Man, there's some good eating on that. Aren't they pretty?
Yeah, that's a better angle.
See that, like the blue colors in there, and these fish really are pretty when you take them right out of the water. Man, that was a kick.
That
was cool. Go ahead, say it. That was cool. Very cool. This was very cool indeed for a number of reasons. Being our first small lake trip of the year, it was very cool to use this smaller than average hook and smaller than average worm and catch a larger than average crappie. And it was cool to launch the boat from shore. Neither Matt nor I fell in the water or in the boat, so we don't need a Nordic track. And it was cool to be able to cast from shore without tangling on weeds in the water or being pestered by thousands of mosquitoes around our heads. Now, that'll be coming later in the season, though. And naturally, it was very cool to hook into and land a 13-inch crappie by the lip And that evening, the taste of these fresh crappie fillets dipped in spicy flour and fried in butter. Oh, wow. Fishing is cool. That's all there is to it. Well, that was the spring of '96. Cold weather was in the news that year, unlike this year when everything has been ahead of schedule because of El Nino, and experts predict a long, hot summer, according to the Lansing State Journal. You know what's so exciting about this time of year? The weather. It gets warmer and it gets better every day. As we head towards July, the weather gets more stable, levels out, less windy days on the Great Lakes, hopefully less rainy days on the weekends. Oh, makes it super to get out camping and fishing. Now, don't you let these sunny days slip by. Make sure you get outdoors. It's a great place to be. I want to see you back here next week. This crappie came out of Mullet Lake up in Sheboygan County, came at the end of August, amazingly enough. It's caught on a minnow, which crappie are traditionally caught on. This was 1 pound, 12 ounces, 15 inches long. Man, you catch many that size?
No. Or this color.
Or this? Oh, I was going to kind of let that slide, thinking the taxidermist ran out of, yellow and black paint. But you say this was that color?
That color, deeper blue, real pretty on top. I really wasn't sure what it is. I took it over to Odin. Told me it was a black crappie. Pigmentation, something you couldn't he lost me after that.
How deep was this?
14 feet. I was on my way out to the perch hole. Marked a lot of fish this area, so stopped and started getting pike. Then perch, rock bass, and then bingo. I thought I had another pike. Thought I lost it, bringing it up. Got in the flop near the top, getting dark, flopping, got in the boat. What is this, 14 something, man? Into the live well. Buddy almost gave it away. Said, "Oh,
Sounds to me like you have a real fishing hole up there with all those species."
Indian River's."
Okay, but you're trying to hide it a little, aren't you? You're in a real jam to come down and promote the fish you catch, but you really don't want people to know.
Correct.
Okay.
Can't put a noose around my neck, Fred.
Okay. No, I mean, that's a big lake, a deep lake, a clear lake.
Sturgeon.
Sturgeon has everything in it. Well, congratulations, David Jodway from Clinton Township, fishing the secret Mullet Lake.